Hey son, do you want your dad to feel valued because he knows you see his heart, not just his flaws? So encourage him instead of telling him, Dad, you're fat. Imagine you are eating lunch with him. Then you noticed your dad is gaining weight. And then you really want to say, Dad is gaining weight. So you take a pause and you think first before you speak. And then instead of saying, Dad, you're fat. So you chose to say, Dad, I care about you. Let's exercise tomorrow at 6 a.m. That's how you do it. Encouraging your dad matters because you want to make him feel supported. You want to be compassionate. You want your brother to be like you and your friends. You want them to see you as caring. Now, what happens when you are telling your dad his fact? You violated the value of respect. You're building that habit of focusing on his flaws, physical appearance, then you become insensitive person because you think being honest, you can say anything you want, even it hurts. Then you're making your dad feel discouraged and he might think, whoa, my son, maybe I am not enough for him. While your brother is watching you, he might think, if my brother talk that way, maybe that's okay. Maybe telling dad you're fat is acceptable. Maybe I will do it too. And your friends perceive you as harsh and they might think, hold on, if Emmanuel can tell his dad he's fat, wow, definitely he's going to criticize us behind our back. Basically, son, you ruined your connection with me, the character of your brother, and the trust with your friend. How would you feel when your dad tells you, Emmanuel, you're fat? Painful. So the right thing to do is to encourage him instead of telling him he's fat. Now, what happens when you are encouraging him? First, you practice the value of respect, then you're building the habit of showing empathy, then you become compassionate person because you believe your power, your words have power. Then you make your dad feel supported And he might think, wow, my son thinks about my feeling first, and now he is inviting me to exercise with him. Bravo, son. Then, since your brother is still watching you, he might think, wow, the right thing to do is to encourage my dad. Maybe I can do it too. So you're teaching him to be compassionate too and show empathy. And then your friends see you as caring because and they might think, wow, look at Emmanuel. He encourages his dad. He cares about his feeling and he is a good example for us. Maybe we can be compassionate like him. And Emmanuel, he is someone we can trust. Basically, you build a stronger relationship with your dad, with your friends, and you are a good example to your brother. How would you feel when your dad encourages you instead of telling you you're fat? Yeah, feel supported and encouraged. Exactly, son. Now, you are now aware telling your dad he's fat is absolutely bad behavior. Also, you are now aware encouraging him is the right thing to do. That's why your challenge today is when you see the flaws of your dad, pause, think before you speak, then encourage him. What if you told your dad he's fat before? Forgive yourself because you didn't know it was a bad behavior. You didn't know the impact of your behavior before, and validate. Maybe you were you didn't mean what you say. Maybe you just wanted him to lose weight, stay healthy, and that's valid. One thing you can do is to apologize. Apologize to your dad, and you could say, Dad, I told you you're fat. I made you feel discouraged and I ruined your confidence, and I'm really sorry about that. Now I learned better. I'll make it up to you. Shall we exercise tomorrow? And apologize for your brother to your brother for being a bad example to him. Apologize to your friend for breaking their trust. And yeah, you can try to make it up to them. And in case you tell your dad he's fat again, reflect. Do I really want to hurt my dad? If not, pause. Think before you speak. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Now, you're probably thinking, but dad, sometimes I forget to think. I just see your flaws without thinking, and that's a problem. Sure, that happens inevitably. The right thing to do is to ignore that random thought. You could say, "Oh, I may notice dad's fat. Whatever. Shut my mouth." Whatever, just ignore it. Bahala ka dyan. You know, that's a great coping up mechanism. And one of your objection is, but I just wanted to point it out that is gaining weight. I mean, how will I know? Good point, son. The right thing to do is say it with kindness. Say, Dad, let's run again tomorrow at 6 a.m. Let's stay healthy together. Speak with kindness. Yeah. And l- one of common excuse is, but dad, I was just joking, teasing you. Remember, son, your word matters. It matters. Your words are powerful. So pause to think before you speak. And going back earlier, if you have been encouraging your dad, keep going, keep doing it. And, every time you do it, it's a rep. One rep, two reps, three repetitions. The more you repeat encouraging your dad, it becomes your default. So keep doing it. Great job. I'm proud of you for doing that, and thank you for choosing to encourage your dad instead of telling him he's fat. And keep doing that. You made the right choice, and I'm proud of you. And thank you for listening to our podcast today. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to think that every 4 p.m. is our podcast, and every time we do it, I tell myself, "Oh, today is a great day because I had podcast with my son." And the reason why I'm outside right now because my sister and her friends, three of them, four of them now, they are talking. So I moved outside so I can film because I feel awkward if I speak English while they're listening. It's kind of awkward. And yep, see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Let me close the camera now.